the agents were going to be cut out of it. So we were retained by some 49er players as well as some agents to stop that because it was tied in. If you wanted to get away from that lottery, you could buy their package at triple the amount. And this was the type of tie-in arrangement that you have to look at too. When you want a desired property, are they making you take the buses? Are they making you take extra days that you don't want? Are they making you deal with somebody? At that point, we'll start looking in the book as to what it says about antitrust. And the main thing that we're trying to teach is the preventive legal care. We're trying to keep you out of problems by not doing things yourself, but at the same time, when somebody else is doing it to you, be reminded that antitrust violations are a felony, means more than a year in the joint, triple damages, up to $1 billion fine, little things that may help you in your negotiations that you don't want a component. Don't be scared not to mention those. Cases last year that are affecting the agencies, we just got through with the Muir Woods case. I don't know if any of you were following it, but they were ticketing the buses going down to Muir Woods because there were big buses. And the road down to Muir Woods, because it's so scenic, is a small road. So blessed be Marin County where I live in, and we have a few additional crusades. The county with the most amount of gurus per capita than any other in the United States. Some woman would get on the bus and arrest the driver, citizen's arrest, because there's a law that says you can't have more than 4 or 5 vehicles behind you. So the travel industry had retained us to try to get some semblance of what was happening down there. And I got to go on a press meeting with these groups on a bus. Cruel and unusual punishment. I'm sitting there, prostitute, ringer, and they're just snapping my head the whole time. You know what you're doing to the ozone layer? You know what you're doing here? Finally, when it got down to how I was affecting the fertilizer, I finally told them, if you really want one of those trees fertilized, I told the woman where she could place it. At that point, my diplomatic ethos seemed to have gone down the tubes. They wound up by getting the highway patrol and the Caltrans to paint double lines so the buses would go over. And when the buses went over, the highway patrol was waiting for them, not ticketing anybody else, but would get this. What was happening to the travel agents, all of a sudden there were surcharges because the buses then were afraid to go. They would have to stop, get into smaller vans, and your people all of a sudden were charged additional amounts, which, you know, they